Canadians the right to die.
I look forward to ending it all before I become a nothing but an ironing board and a bed.
Kathleen Carter's wish was to end her life peacefully before spinal stenosis left her immobile. In 2010, her daughter Lee Carter accompanied her to Switzerland, where she died at an assisted suicide clinic. Well, now Lee and her husband Hollis Johnson are the primary plaintiffs in a Supreme Court hearing scheduled to begin today. Lee and Hollis join us now from Ottawa. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
You know, Lee, I have to ask, it's been such a long and obviously painful journey for you, having lost your mother, but somehow you decided this was important enough to keep going in this fight alongside your husband. Tell me why you've decided to continue to fight to see this day where you could go before the Supreme Court.
Well, it was so important to her. When we were in Switzerland, she wrote a letter that we sent out from Zurich to about 125 of her friends. And she said at that time, I want this to be public. I want a dialogue. I would like to have a discussion. I'd like Canadians to have a discussion about this.
And they have been having many discussions, as you know. I'll ask you this, Hollis, because poll after poll has shown that Canadians are in support of assisted suicide with the right kind of checks and balances in place. How are you feeling about the Supreme Court decision? And it may be a couple of months, but Hollis, are you optimistic?
Yes, I am very optimistic. There's been a seismic shift in public thinking on this matter, as well as a change in legal thinking. I'm very optimistic that that we will have a good, solid case in which to present. We've already presented to the courts. Yeah.
Yeah, and since it's been about 20 years, Lee, since it was in front of the Supreme Court, things have changed, as Hollis said, a seismic shift, really. But there's still a great concern on behalf of a number of people, not the least of which is the Canadian Disabilities, or Canadians with Disabilities Council. Mm-hmm. They're worried, as they have been over the years, about this being a slippery slope for vulnerable Canadians.
You know, when we went to do all of the work for Dignitas in Zurich, there were one document that I sent over had 45 pages that they were so thorough in determining that she was of sound mind, that she wanted to do this, that we had, and the medical documentation to support that she had spinal stenosis, etc. So I think that there could be many safeguards in place. And I think if you take a look at Oregon and Washington, who they have that's happening now and successfully.
Tell me how.
If I could.
Yeah, go ahead, Hollis. Yeah.
If I could add to that, Madam Justice Lynn Smith at the BC Supreme Court level had documented in her final presentation that very, very good safeguards. They were very thorough, so I'm really optimistic that safeguards can be put in place. And if I could add one other thing, we've got over 20 years of data now, for example, data in Europe suggests that the people who are taking the assisted dying way out are largely university educated, they're upper and middle class, they're male, and they're some form of terminal illness. So I'm not sure if it's well substantiated that there's any reason to fear the kind of safeguards that would be put in place.
Tell me, Lee, about the support that you've received on behalf of a number of Canadians. I mean, I understand there's some rallies that are planned. Tell me about the scarves that you both are wearing.
I think 11 cities across Canada are rallying today, and they will be given, like we have been given, these colored scarves and it's Dying with Dignity in conjunction with the BC Civil Liberties Association. So you will see on the steps of the courthouses in various cities in Canada, there will be, at these rallies, people will be wearing these scarves.
What do you think your mom would say about this very important day for you and for a lot of people behind you?
Go for it.
Well, I think, listen, Kate was a very intelligent, politically savvy woman who enjoyed spirited debate. And I think this is the realization of her dream. And so it's really nice to bring this to some kind of culmination, and she would be very, very, very proud, not just for the case, but for Canadians more generally.
Yeah.
We will be watching this. Well, Canadians will be watching this very closely indeed. Lee and Hollis, thank you kindly for joining us.
You're very
You're
welcome.
welcome.